Hello, everybody.
Yay! We're live. We
Hello,
are
hello.
live. My gosh. It looks like it's hot in Joburg, Nyaki. You look like Hosama.
It's
Hosama, Sama,
January.
Sama.
It's
Yo,
February. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
it looks like you're gonna be in the pool very soon. Most probably. Because that's your vibe. Since I think that's part of the reason why you decided to lock your hair is that freedom.
I've never swam in my swimming pool, but yes.
You only go until the water hits your hips and you're like, shut. I'm
It's time to
done.
go now. I play. It's for the kids. When the kids come, they swim.
Nyaki is that considerate aunt.
Mm.
She's the considerate auntie. Welcome to Lunchtime Live, good people. Welcome to it. We're so excited to have you with us. So today's Lunchtime Live is all about coaching. The month of February is all about the 100K coach, becoming the 100K coach. And for Nyaki and I, it's about building 100K coaches. I think, no, I'd be lying. One of Nyaki's favorite types of businesses, I think, is coaching. One of them is e-com, but you're just like, you're e-com from a distance. But Nyaki, what is it that you love about coaching?
Yeah. Do I love coaching? I don't know if I love coaching. Coaching is hard, guys.
Can I please tell you guys? I think it's literally like one of my core memories in the category of me and Nyaki's friendship, relationship, business partnership is during funnel weekend. There was some feedback that we're getting and testimonials that we're getting, and Nyaki was so happy. You had tears. You stood up and you like literally need to shake it off because it was such good feedback that we had from people during funnel weekend. And I think the best part of coaching is when you hear somebody go, I did it worked.
And I get it. I
And I
get
get
it. I
it.
did it, and it works. Yeah, those are the three. I get it. I did it, and it works. Yes.
Because literally when they say 1 out of 100 people is gonna do it, not lying.
No, very, very few people. Very few people do it. Many get it, but very few people do it. I think that's the hardest part about coaching, guys. But it's okay. It's
It
okay.
really is. It really is. I'll tell you that when I had to take a year off of coaching because it hit my heart so much when you hear people want something so badly. They want something so badly. And you can tell that their lives would be so much better if they did it. And then they don't do it. And then you get so attached to their story. You get attached to their desires and everything. And then they just don't do it. And you're just like, but why? You've got so much potential. It would work for you. And then your heart gets broken. Oh, coaching will break your heart. It will break your heart. My gosh. It will break your heart. Okay. So Nyaki, before we introduce our guest for today, I'd really love to hear from you, like one mind-blowing story from coaching. It doesn't have to be your own. It could have been a client or somebody that you heard of who had it was like, I can't believe they did that in terms of something good. Sales, it could be the number of registrations, it could be like them going viral. I've heard quite a few of your stories in terms of like success moments, mind-blowing success moments, either yours or somebody else that you've heard that is really motivating.
Recently, a couple of weeks, maybe days, maybe weeks ago, I did a consultation with a lady who is looking at a 500 million rand contract. That is one of her three businesses, and she was talking about so she's in like in the mining sort of industry, and she was talking about like capital goods, so basically buying the equipment that makes the things. So understanding how capital goods work, and then also then restructuring her business. I was very intimidated for the first like 40 minutes of a call. I was just like, okay, this is my sister. She's just like throwing out numbers, big, very big numbers. And so I'm like, so what do you need me for? She's like, you're the best at marketing. And I'm like, I mean, I am, but like, how am I? But basically, we sat and we had a whole thing where we restructured her business. But like at the end, I was like, so was this worth it? She was like, this is absolutely what I needed. And I'm like, huh, okay. Me, this little girl. So yeah, I told my husband, he was like, yeah, that's the thing with consulting, is that you are the expert in marketing. I'm not the expert in her business.
Yeah.
So like I think that's the intimidation, where you think like you have to be an expert in a person's business, but you don't. You just have to be an expert in the thing that you're an expert in. And I'm an expert in marketing. And so we were able
Yeah.
to structure the way she structures her business, or at least thinks about it, but also just communicates it, because marketing, a lot of it is about talking to people, right? So how do you communicate value, or how do you communicate your business in such a way that makes sense? So we sat through like that. Yeah, there we go. That's my story. That's all I have.
500 million.
One of the
500
deals. Yeah.
million. That's a big deal. That's amazing.
That's a very big deal.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And it's so nice to get to the other end and people actually be able to see that value in what you're doing. So if you're joining us in our live stream, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, please do let us know who you are, where you're joining us from. I can see Madube is actually joining us from LinkedIn.
Our favorite platform in the whole world, Shem.
Yes,
We love LinkedIn.
I'm a fan of LinkedIn. I'm a fan of LinkedIn. I'm about to post something on LinkedIn now. I don't know why I got LinkedIn shy. I think because LinkedIn is becoming more popular. So now you're just like, what am I gonna post? But let us know who you are and where you're joining us from. Thank you so much for joining our live stream. I think my favorite coaching moment, or what I've heard, or what I've seen, I think there's so many. Because I love the small wins. I think I love like when somebody like launches for the first time, or refines and then launches, because usually the first time launches aren't usually like huge. Some of them are, but I think some of my favorite moments are when people launch and then they sell out. Those are always my favorite, even if they only have 10 spots. For me, it's to say, I mean, there's so many. When I tell a person you're going to get 80 sales, and then they get like 160. Like they started and said, I think I'm only gonna sell 20, and then I push them to 80, and then they sell 180. I'm just like, yes. Or when somebody says, I think I'm gonna quit in 3 years, and I'm like, let's make it like 18 months, and then they quit in like 6 months. So it's always those moments, and those are all real stories. It's always those stories where we're just like, that's the win. And I'm so grateful that we actually get to call this a job, and then we hear these stories at least once a week. At least once a week, there's I sold out, or I launched it. And the other day I had somebody, personal branding, who literally said, the DM strategy is working. And they're like, it's working. I can't believe it. But us as coaches, we're just like, yeah, it's supposed to work. So let's introduce our guests for today who are in the building. We have the NGO Coach herself, weighing in at a lightweight with big impact. She's global. She's been in the industry for 2 decades. Coming in bright pink, we have Sibu.
Hey everybody. Hello.
How are you?
Exhausted. It is really hot in Joburg. My boys are not well, but we move. I'm here and I'm so excited to be here. How are you ladies doing?
We're good. You've got the brightest smile, man. Did you go to the dentist recently? Like, did you do something?
Oh no, actually don't say that. Oh, I'm so due. And no.
It is bright. It is beautiful. I think it could be the camera work. It could be the lighting.
It could be the lighting.
It could be Friday.
Nyaki, it's the lighting, Nyaki. It's the natural lighting, Nyaki. Remember the natural lighting?
The natural light.
We love it. So Sibu is one of our agency clients, as well as an absolute, you are a fireball. And I think that even what you are doing in your coaching career is surprising you as well. And we really love how you're able to maneuver between what you do full time, your personal brand, which is just exploding, as well as what you're doing in coaching. And we're going to get into that in a second. I'm going to call in on the other end. We've got, she's in her early 50s, wearing a race in record time. Our favorite fitness ma'am and nutrition coach, expert in poop digestion and the gut, weighing in at fabulous and retiring soon. Here is Coach Motshabi. Yay! Oh no, she did something. She pressed something. She's off the stage. She's joining us again now.
Okay.
I saw the finger moving, and then she dropped off. So while she's coming in, we have Tando joining in from Joburg, Kim, who is on LinkedIn, Khalalelo on YouTube, a regular, frequent flyer who's always with us. I love how Mudupe is saying a lot of us need therapy after coaching.
All coaching.
All coaches, both the coach, the person who's being coached, and the coach. C was not new to shouting at people. If there's one thing that you can do, it's shout at people.
I do. My goodness. I always feel bad afterwards, but I think it's just the frustration of knowing that people can do better and they are better. And like, so why are we here? You know, what are we doing? So yeah, I just believe in people and their abilities. And so when they're just not doing it, it's frustrating.
It's frustrating. And I think that's the part we were talking about coaching is the heartbreak of coaching. When you can see the potential, where you can see somebody can do it. Mme Motshabi has joined us in the building. You guys have kind of like coordinated your colors. Very similar. Like there's a tone going on. Usually Nyaki and I coordinate.
We are in sync.
You are in sync. Nyaki,
yes.
What are you wearing? It's a dress. It's just that we can only see the straps. Or is it a top? It's a top.
Black and white.
I think usually when Nyaki and I both wear black, that's what usually happens. So Mme Motshabi, we're introducing you as a nutrition coach, and in today's topic, we're talking about turning your passion into profit, especially at the beginning. We want to talk about that beginning, that step to say, okay, let's do it. Because we think that is usually like the hardest part. But for you, Mme Motshabi, you have been part of the club. You're an OG in the club. You know the club from when club was clubbing at the beginning. And it took you a while to say, okay, let's do it. But now you are currently working on your brand right now. You are emailing, you are creating content. You are in it to win it. You're no longer sitting at the back of the row. You're in the front of the row. So to introduce the conversation and to introduce the both of you, Mme Motshabi, would you let us know what it is that you do in your coaching field, and also give us background on what is it that you do full time, so people understand that at the beginning there is that transition. So what you do in coaching and currently what you're doing full time.
Okay, what I'm doing full time, I'm a pharmacist. There are various pharmacists in this profession. The one tablet 3 times a day, that's not me. I'm not a 1 tablet 3 times a day kind of person. I'm in the regulatory department of pharmacy. I'm the one who ensures that whatever that you are taking, whatever that you are drinking or has been prescribed to you, it's actually manufactured from the compliant manufacturing side. So as a regulator, as a compliant officer, that's actually what I'm doing as a pharmacist. And then as a nutrition coach, I'm a food police. So you can see that these two things are aligned. I'm a police at work 9 to 5. I'm a police after work. Food and medication. So those two things are aligned. But however, as a nutrition coach, what I'm focusing more on is gut health. That is my focus. Everything starts in your gut. If you misfeed your gut, that's when everything is going to go bad. So you have to ensure that your gut is well fed. That's my focus as a nutrition coach.
Love that. And we know you're there. You're full-time police. Full-time police. Even in public, when you're seeing people, when you're seeing their plates coming in, you're just like,
oh my goodness, what's happening here? That's me.
It was just like, please don't catch me. Don't catch me. I love that. I love that. I know that everybody's going to love having time with you today. Sibu, on your end, full time,
Yes.
you're coaching. I mean, you're juggling a whole lot of hats, right?
Yes.
Please let the people know who is Sibu and starting off with what you do in coaching and then moving from there.
So my name is Sibu. Thank you so much for having me here. I full-time run a social enterprise, a nonprofit organization that is celebrating 10 years this year. So we're really excited about that. It's been an amazing journey, being the founder and executive director of this organization. But outside of that, I run a couple of family businesses with my husband. I'm a global speaker and a social change engineer.
Wow.
My role really is to look at the gaps that we have around sustainable development and bridge the gap between where we want to be and where we find ourselves right now. So that's what I do day to day. And then in coaching, I realized that there was some knowledge, and maybe I'm being a little bit humble about this, but there's some knowledge that I have, that I've amassed over the past 20 years that I would love to share with people, and I guess we'll get into it. But I really didn't think it's information people cared for. I didn't think it's stuff that people wanted to know about. But you'll be so surprised how many people will show up for the amount of information you have and they'll pay for it. So I'm now a coach in the nonprofit space. I'm an NGO expert. So people come to me when they're thinking of either starting an organization, growing an organization and maintaining one, but also scaling one. So that's what I do.
Absolutely love that. So now my question is around starting. There was a point where you did not, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. There was a point where you were not a coach. And
Maybe
then
it's
the
just
idea,
me. I keep losing
think
you.
so. I
Maybe
think
it's me.
okay, cool. So I will definitely type out the questions for you as well. So there was a point when you were not a coach. Then you had the idea to become a coach. Where did the idea of coaching come from? We'll start with Mme.
The idea of coaching actually started when I saw one of your posts back then on Instagram, where I forgot which masterclass where you actually advertising, but it was about women who wants to start their own businesses, women who've got passion, but they want to help other people, but they don't know where to start. And I was like, this is actually me. I want to help people, but I don't know exactly where to start and how to do it professionally, and so that it can look like a business, not a side hustle. And then your master classes actually led me to where I am today. So it was more like you've got the passion, you've got the knowledge. All you have to do is just to find a way of getting out there so that people can know where to go when they need help. And then I was like, perfect. I am here today. I'm a gut health advocate and using my profession as a pharmacist to actually support what I'm doing.
I love that you're saying you're using your profession as a pharmacist to support that. I think we often think that if we do whatever we do full time must be like this. There's nothing that I can use from my job that can help me grow into what I'm doing. I think we've seen that a lot. And as a person who's been an entrepreneur majority of my working life, I always say that even if it's 10% or even 2% of what you do on a full-time basis, even just learning how to file things, there's always something from your corporate life, from your past life that you can use to build forward in what you're doing. I like that you got that idea from there. To build onto that, what gave you the audacity to say, okay, me? What was it? What was it for you, Mme Motshabi?
Okay, me as in me or me as in you?
No, you. What made you think, okay, I can do this? Okay, sharp. I've got the audacity to think, you know what? I've got the stuff. Where did that even come from?
You know, Kopano, like I said, I'm a food police. I'm a food police, and it has always been like that from a young age, if I can put it that way. So every time when I look at people's food, I'm like, guys, why is this whole thing gonna go? Are you going to eat everything and it's gonna go in your tummy? Do you know what happens? And I will start talking about it, educating them about overeating. Sibu's look. I will
I'm
educate
stressed.
them.
I'm so stressed. You're stressing me out. Like, legit. I feel like I need a session with you after this. I've got problems here in my house.
I got you, girl. I got you. So I will look at people's food, look at people's plates, and I'm like, guys, why do you have to eat so much? Why do you have to actually dish up? Let's start about dishing up. And then as I'm busy talking to people about that, when I visit and they say, my kids have a sweet tooth, my kids this, I'm like, you're the one who buys it, guys. Stop buying this thing and your kids won't have a sweet tooth. So you are a parent, you go to the shops with them, they choose, you pay, you bring it at home, and now you start
100%.
complaining. Cut it.
100%.
Cut it. And once you cut that, you won't have problems with your kids. So as I'm talking to people and they're like, Mme Motshabi, you are so knowledgeable. You've got lots of insight, but what are you doing with this information? Why can't you go out there, educate a lot of people? There are a lot of people who just need a little bit of that information, that light bulb moment, and then they will know what to do. But there's no one who can give them that. So just go out there, expose yourself, whichever way you can, and then people will start buying into the idea. People will get knowledge and implement all the ideas that you have. So that actually, gave me some kind of motivation, gave me some kind of affirmation to say, girl, you are validated. Go for it, man. Stop doubting yourself. Just go for that
So
thing.
good. That's so
And
good.
that's how
Because it's pouring out of you. It's pouring out of you. And I think that's the beauty of it, is when you then start to do something that's actually naturally flowing out of you. And other people are saying, but you're keeping it to yourself. What about everybody else? You've helped me, but there are so many other people. And I think this is one thing, Sibu, that we say about you all the time, is that when now we just need to ask half a question, and then you can start going on about it. So Sibu, for you, where did the idea of coaching come from for you?
So I can't hear you, Kopano. I'm so sorry. I can't hear a single thing you're saying. So I didn't ask. I didn't hear your question.
The question for Sibu, I think she'll be able to hear you.
Or can Mme Motshabi repeat the question, maybe?
Can you repeat the question, Kopano?
Yes,
Can you repeat the question?
So the question is,
Because
where
I
did the
can't hear
idea of
her.
coaching
Did
come
you
from?
hear her question?
You were all
Where
talking
did
at the same time.
Where did the idea of coaching come from?
Okay, Sibu, where did the idea of coaching comes from for you?
Okay, so the idea of coaching for me really came from, I think, very similar to you, Mme Motshabi, because I think for me, it was a lot of feedback I was getting from people. I really didn't sit here and think, I think people would love the knowledge I have. No, it not at all. I think I kept getting the same type of questions on my socials and my social media whenever I would go to functions, whether I'm speaking or on a panel, or people would come up to me and ask me about how did I get our organization where it is at the level at which it is funded. People will ask me basic questions from, where did you register your organization? And I would answer this 1,000 times and it would annoy me. And then I would also, on the far end of the spectrum, I'd get people saying, Sibu, I've been running my organization for a couple of years. I'm feeling stuck. I don't know how to get unstuck. What do you do in that moment? And I thought, it sounds like people are wanting to know two types of things here from me. It's the technical stuff, but it's also the soft, like my experience stuff, you know? How do you get unstuck when you are in a particular situation? But also they want to know what the deal is with the South African Revenue Services. So I then realized, okay, there's something here. However, I don't know about you, Mme Motshabi, but I certainly struggled a lot with believing that I was enough and that the information I have is enough. And this is where I say having a team, a group of women like Club She is, people who believe in you and what you have to offer in that moment more than you believe in yourself is so important, because it helps you push you just a little bit further. Would I have come to coach 5-10 years from now? I think so. I think naturally I'm a founder, I'm a leader, I'm a visionary. I think I would have found it, I would have done it. Would it have happened when it happened? Probably not, because there's so many days I wake up, I give excuses. No, I can't do it now. Oh no, I'm pregnant now. Oh no, I've got kids. Oh no, I'm married. Oh no, now I'm studying. So, but when you've got like a group of dedicated women and a team like Club She is, who says, we see that, we respect all of that, but we do need you in studio. We need you. This is also going to happen. You're also going to give us 20 minutes. You've got 24 hours. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, and that's, I guess, for me where the idea of coaching came from.
Mme Motshabi, for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, okay.
Did you have fear in starting, and do you still have it? Because now you've started, your product is out there, you're creating content, you're sending emails. How do you deal with this fear situation?
Yo, Kopano, fear, ne? There's this acronym. Actually, fear, they say it's an acronym. False evidence appearing real. Yo, Corey, no matter what I'm doing, every time I'm like, hey, is this content right? Are people going to hear it? Is it going to land where it's supposed to land? You know, should it be posted or not? Let me retake. Let me, you know, and you know, social media can be toxic sometimes. So as you look at your content and you're like, the comments, will I be able to handle them? And then immediately you start asking yourself those questions, you end up not posting. So whatever that you create, whatever content that you create, don't overthink it. Just post and you'll deal with whatever comes along once it's there, it's out there. Because you start asking yourself, what if, what can I, what should I, you know, at the end of it all, you will never post, you will never put yourself out there. So fear is still there. It was there then and is still there now. But what makes me move forward is like, you know what, girl, you will deal with whatever comes along whenever it comes. Because most of the time you ask yourself those questions and you don't even get any negativity out of whatever the content that you've posted. So imagine if you were stuck in that thing, yo, am I going to win? Or what are the comments going to be? You wouldn't have even posted that thing. So fear, it's real. It is real.
And I think, yeah, for me as well, if I can just jump in there. So fear is a real thing. And I think it's an emotion that we must recognize. I think it's an emotion that helps you to recognize that this thing is real. And I think more than anything for me, it says, I value people's time and money, you know, and I want people to walk away feeling like, yeah, I'm glad I booked that session. So I'm fearful that I don't give people that. That's one. Two, I think general nerves. and just doubtful of content, as was mentioned earlier, that you don't know if your content is good enough. Is this the kind of content that people can get on ChatGPT? Why are they coming to you for this content? But I suppose while ChatGPT might be great at some things, there will never be another Mme Motshabi who has now amassed all this knowledge and personal stories and, personal experience over these many years. And so people still want that, but you're fearful that you might not be able to give them what they want. And I think self-doubt, you're scared because you just don't know if you are good enough. Why are you the one dishing this information? Why do you think you are good enough? There's so many people that can get this information from. Why you? So yeah, fear is always going to be there, but you got to push through it.
I love how Sibu was saying now, that whole thing about why you? Why must it be you? Because there's other people. There's other people who are nutrition coaches. There's other people who know about NGOs and NPOs. Mme Motshabi, my question now is about pricing. The price you charge on what you do, okay? This is always a contentious issue in the club. We're always telling people to charge more because everybody starts with a price down here. And we always say, lift your price up here. How was that experience for you in terms of pricing? If you could price whatever price you wanted, how much would you charge? But now we're telling you, hey, lift the price.
Hey, if like you say, pricing is an issue. It is an issue. And it's still an issue even today. Even now when I'm talking to you, pricing is still an issue because you're like, oh my goodness, am I charging enough? Am I charging too little? Or am I charging too high of a price? But there is this saying that say, if you are too expensive, they are not a target market. So there's a thin line between that, because now, as for me, I'm running a promotion until the 15th of Feb rather. I'm running a promotion until the 15th of Feb for one-on-one coaching, which is $850. But my normal price is $1,500 for one-on-one coaching for a 45 minutes to a 60 minute session. So my pricing is 1.5 per session for one-on-one coaching. And I've got another one, which is a group challenge, which is a group session. I call it a 330 challenge. That one is $650. It's a group session. So you choose last category. Do you want my time with you, or you want, a group one? But when I'm with Sibu, we've got that intimate session. We can even dig deeper as compared to 101. Yes, when it's a group session, you learn from other people. It's fine, but it's not an intimate session as compared to when it's one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
I mean, I've struggled, and Kopano, I've struggled with pricing. Just as Mme Motshabi spoke about in the beginning, because I'm in the non-profit space, guys. There's no money in the non-profit space. So, Sibu, how dare you be charging non-profit founders, leaders, change makers money to begin with for them to get more information? It almost felt like this is a taboo, Sibu. The money that people make, they would rather go buy school shoes and sanitary towels. And so when you are charging them now to spend an hour with you. But once again, I go back, and I mean, this is not a plugging of Club She Is, but I think it's really important to understand that there are some things that you will be able to start on your own. And then there are other things that you'll be able to move a lot further with when you've got some people walking the journey with you. And I was offering these services for free in the beginning, and I think that was important. So I think there was a place and time for that. It built the trust. People understood that I was there and that I could help them at any time. I shared information on my socials. I would host online mentorship groups. I would do it. If somebody wanted a one-on-one time with me, I would give it to them. But then there came a time where it's like, That was a cycle, baby. And if you missed it, you
Yes.
missed it. You know, inklulile, you know. Then it was okay. I understand I have to charge, but how much do I charge? Given the industry, the space, there I was now thinking about the pockets of the founders, you know, and that's not my business. That's not my
Hey.
business. Now I know that is not my job to be thinking about those people. They must either value this enough to want it for themselves, to get where they want to, or they just simply don't have it's not that they don't value it, they just don't have the money for it right now. And I've had plenty people, believe me, say to me, Sibu, I'm gonna come back when I've got money. The old Sibu would have said, Ahman, it's okay, let's have the session. This Sibu says, I'm going to be here, my sister. I'm going to be here, my brother. When you've got that money, I'm going to be here. Now I charge 3.5 for a package, and people pay. Shockingly, like it still shocks me how people paid $1,000 for a sold out masterclass in Durban and in Johannesburg. Like I was just like, where are people getting this money from? Like, I was just like, what? And it just goes to show that yours is to put out the value. The person who has the money for the value will put the price against it. That's just that simple. Yeah.
I think the number one thing I'm studying right now is value. Is literally, from a Christian perspective, it's like in life you must have value. And what is the value that you are putting on the table? And I think the thing we are scared of is telling people what our value is, because it's almost like, ooh, you see yourself, you think you're so important, you know? So Mme Motshabi, I want to talk to you about really defining your value. Like when you say that I'm going to meet with a person for 1.5, what value do you think you bring to the table in that one-on-one? Because I can say, for example, if I'm going to be coaching you in business, right? My value, yes, I have a knowledge pool that's vast in terms of online business, but I know my specific, that high value comes in the business strategy, right? How are we going to form this? Where's the money going to come from? How's the, what streams of money can we get in terms of your business? How are we going to structure it for you to stop the leakages in your business? That's the value I know how to bring. And that's the value that I know is also different from other people. And how I work, being able to tap into how does a person actually feel. It's like, when are you telling me a lie? When I can pick up on you, you like delaying things. I can tell, and those are things you get with time and experience. Mme Motshabi, I've been on sessions with you before where you're able to easily just call out people's food habits. You're just like, I know you. I can tell you're a pap eater. You are a 3/4 of the plate is pap. When you define your value, especially as a nutrition coach, how do you tell people what value you have and what value do you think you bring as a coach?
Kopano, when you talk about value and with nutrition or with food, it's more about the habit and then a sustainable one and the root cause. Because if you don't understand the root cause, the impact, if you don't understand the impact of the food that you are eating, what impact does it have on your body? You're going to do that repeatedly. I like Sibu's facial expressions,
Wait, Mme Motshabi, I'm sorry to jump in here. I'm finding this as such a timely conversation for me personally, because I've been on a serious deep dive understanding into how food affects our bodies, and especially because I've got toddlers, how it affects their behavior.
Yes.
And so ma'am, I am booking that session at that promotion price. Seriously, because I have come to understand that the food we eat will make us or break us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
Just like that. The food you eat will make you or break you. So the value that I put forward to you or that I bring to you is that you have to understand the impact of food on your body. How does it affect your body? And then what are the root causes of certain life diseases? Because, the food that you eat, either you're going to end up with lifestyle diseases or you'll remain as healthy as, a newborn baby who doesn't have issues, who have never tasted a sweet thing in her life. You'll be like that for the rest of your life until God say, now is the time. So That's the value that I put forward. Change your habits. What are the root causes? How does food impact your body and sustainability? Because if you start doing your yo-yo dieting, you will be like yo-yo. Because all you want to do is to lose weight if you want to lose weight. But you don't know what happens when you stop. And because that thing is not sustainable, what happens to that weight that you've lost? It comes back million times. And you're like, damn, that thing didn't work, because you didn't understand the impact that it has on your body. So impact is the key word here. Impact of food in your body.
And then Sibu.
So, I can hear you now.
Yes.
So, for me, so the question is around value, right? What value, as a coach, do I get shy about telling? So please repeat the question for me.
So I was saying, in terms of value, we have to define our value in order for people to pay us, right? What value do you think you bring to the table as a coach? When you sit with someone and you are talking to them, what does Sibu bring to the table that other people don't? Or people might not even understand that this is why I charge the 3,000 Rand I'm charging.
So I'm clear about I bring 20 years. I have been doing this since I was 18 years old, and I'm now 43. So this is the only thing I've done my entire life consistently. My passion found me. I know for a fact this is what I was born for. Right. Number two, I bring the value of knowing the work on both ends of the spectrum, working for local, small, medium-sized, non-profit organizations, all the way to working for corporates who run multi-million rand corporate social responsibility budgets. So I understand what it's like to be on the end that is constantly scrapping for grant money, and on the other end where the people are throwing the money out and they're just like, where do we take the money? Who do we give it to? I come with the value of understanding current trends. I have seen the trends change over the years, and I come with the value of saying, I know where your organization will fit best. In all the chaos that's happening throughout COVID, our organization survived. How and why, So I bring that. I'm so clear now about the fact that you can try find one. You can try find somebody with the kind of experience I have. It'll take you a while. Also, the kind of experience I have is very rooted in who we are, in our Blackness, in our communities. And so that's also very important for me, because that also plays a major role in our understanding of certain things such as governance. And so those are the type of things I bring to the table. I bring contacts. I keep saying to founders all the time, you don't have to be standing in the queue at the Department of Social Development. Why are you doing that? You don't have to be standing in the queue at SARS. Why are you doing? Your job is the vision. Your job is to move. It's not in the administration, but there are people who can help you with that, right? And so I bring a wealth of network and knowledge around making sure that all your governance structures are in place so that you can focus on making the impact.
The one thing I am hearing is confidence.
And you're gone again.
Okay. So the one thing I'm hearing is confidence. Confidence in speaking about your value and what you do as a coach. Do you think it is time that has given you the confidence? I think you've both thought about this coaching thing for some time now. So to close off, where does this confidence come from now at this point in your coaching journey? And then very last thing we'll do is just letting people know where they can get you after this session. Mme Motshabi?
The confidence, it's more now because you know what? Coaching is a buzzword. Everywhere you go, people are talking about coaching. The question is coaching in what? And from my side, We all eat, guys, no matter what. We all eat. The question is, what do we
What?
eat? Yes, the question is what. So I'm here to actually teach people what to eat for them to be the better version of the previous Sibu, the previous Kopano. That's why I've got more confidence, because as a pharmacist in the health industry, we all know the stats of obesity. We all know the stats of all these chronic diseases. So if you get your gut right in the beginning, the stats up there will reduce. All these lifestyle diseases, all these lifestyle conditions will reduce, because you've got the root, the foundation right. And the foundation is food.
Yeah, no, I wasn't always this confident, to be honest, about my coaching journey. Two things made me confident, or helped gain my confidence. It's the one is seeing real people who've paid real money, set real time aside to spend time with me, and walk away feeling like I've just changed their lives because I've helped them tap into their purpose. I've helped them tap into why they're here. Guys, nothing beats somebody coming off a call and saying to you, you don't know what you've just done. You know, you have just ignited the reason why I'm here. It hits different when you are the person responsible for that. So the more I got that, the more confident I got. Then the other thing that built my confidence, do not judge me, is the money that kept going into my bank account. Guys,
Definitely that one.
when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, huh? That's all me? For me? Huh? Mamela, you can't help it. The confidence, eh?
Galo.
Money builds
Ain't
confidence.
gonna lie.
Money does build confidence. Mme Motshabi, when you said that people validated what you said, I think every single time somebody pays you to do this thing that you actually are passionate about, you're just like, you're paying me for something I like. I like this thing.
Yeah.
I talk about this thing all the time. So to close off, where can people get a hold of you? And I know you have a current offer. I know people can watch this next year, but if they miss out, they miss out. Where can people find you, and what's your current offer that you want to talk to them about?
Motshabi Kgantsi on Instagram and on Facebook. Kgantsi with a KG. Yes, they will find me there. And if you come next year, you're lost, because now the price. I get why till inflation level.
Yesterday's price is not
information.
today's price.
The inflation of information.
Exactly. You know, about inflation of rents and inflation of information. Thank you for that. So don't come next year, or don't even come next week and expect to pay the same price. Next week, price would have changed. The 15th is Sunday, and it's done. Closed, cut. So at this point in time, I'm going for 850. From the 16th, I'm going for 1.5. Come 15th February 2027, it's a different story. Or
I like
June.
that.
Even in June, it can be a different story. So don't
like
rely on the price that you see today and say, but last week you were on nah. But like I said, you snooze, you lose. If I was in your shoes, I will jump in now for 850.
I'm genuinely booking a session now.
I like
For
that.
850.
I like that,
No,
Sibu.
no,
I
seriously.
like that. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna find you.
Yeah.
And if people, I think, understood the value of what you bring, yeah. And you know what? It's the kind of thing I think with coaching. I'll answer the question. I think with coaching, you've got to allow people to get to the need.
Yes.
You can't force it.
Definitely.
Once there'll be something that someone will hear about how important their gut work is, and then they'll remember you, and then they'll find you. So I don't rush these things. People must come when they know that they are ready to receive. I am Sibulele Sibaca on Instagram, on LinkedIn, as well as Facebook. And on TikTok, I am not Sibulele Sibaca. I am Sibariwe Kgantsi, but we talk about something completely different there. But yeah, that's who I am. And we are having an online e-learning course coming soon. This is part of the extension of coaching, where we've realized, myself and Club She Is, that we spoke about how taxing coaching can be, and just as an extension for others, that they can then jump on the e-learning platform, get all the information that they want from me. And then when they come to me, Mme Motshabi, they must know their story. We are talking escalate, we are talking scaling of other proportions when they come to me. But they must have gone through the book, they must have gone through the e-learning course. When they come to me, we're talking strategy. So yeah, but I'm available on these platforms. I respond to my DMs. Reach out. I'm here.
Sibu is definitely one person that you want to actually follow, because you give so much. You talk, you reply to your messages, all of it. Nyaki, what did you think of the conversation as we close off and say goodbye to everybody? I loved it. I saw in the comments someone was saying, "I'm loving the energy. This combination works. This combination is fire." Absolutely loved it. And I think we both hit the nail on the head in terms of just getting people's mindsets, because there's someone on the fence. There's someone on the edge. And the both of you, I wish we could have done this as a pre-interview, so that they can see how far the both of you have come in terms of confidence, in terms of nailing exactly what you do, knowing what you do, and just being so confident. Nyaki, you speak, because Sibu can't hear me. I don't know why.
Oh, shame. So, Sibu, we were saying amazing. The energy that you guys bring it's something. It's like sister and auntie, sister. When you're listening in on your older aunts, they're not old enough to be your mom, but they're not young enough to be your friend.
Yeah.
You're just like, but you're there listening, thinking, okay, this is how you do women. This is how women behave.
I love that.
Love it.
I love
So
it.
inspiring.
I love it.
Absolutely inspiring. I'm going to close us off. So I wasn't able. I was streaming on Instagram, Kopano. So it's a whole weird contraption here. So I haven't been able to see all the comments. But I think you guys absolutely loved it today. Maybe let's just brush off the comments just a little bit. Kopano, do you want to read the comments?
Yes.
I won't hear her.
So we have someone saying, "Love these conversations, so inspiring. I am now a fan of yours. What have you been before?" That's my question.
A fan
If
of
you're
Yeah.
not a fan, what were you before? Halalelo saying, "Well,
People can't hear you, Kopano.
Oh no,
Okay.
you're gonna have to do it.
I can't hear her. Maybe.
While AI tools are great, one thing they lack is being human. I'd say that's a superpower, having the final creative judgment. Love that. Ramafoka says, I always say it's not about money. The same people who tell me my coaching is expensive, but their kids buy 2,000 sneakers and wear expensive weaves. So you see, you got it. It is about value, and we really appreciate that. Thank you guys for joining us. Those of you who joined us live, thank you also to Mme Motshabi and Sibu, our aunts our rich aunties who
And
are
on the table,
business,
kitchen
who are
table.
talking business, allowing us to eavesdrop on your conversation. Remember,
love
guys,
that.
we do Lunch and Learn every Friday, 1:00. On streaming across the entire internet. We're trying to get on every social. I think we're going to do TikTok at some point as well, I know for sure, but we're streaming wherever you get streaming. But we'll see you guys next week. If you want the replay, you'll catch it inside of the membership portal. And if you are not part of the premium membership, just do it so you too can be amazing.
What are you waiting for?
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.